We believe that activism is extremely important. It's not something that only a handful of people can do. Activism is extremely important. It changes minds, it changes laws. But activism in a world in which journalism doesn't function, it doesn't work. Because you can't be on every street, you can't be on every block. In a country of 330 million, if you have a cause in Flint, Michigan that cannot be solved within Flint, Michigan, that needs federal help somehow, then you need national coverage. And if the news are not paying attention, and if you think that the news are paying attention to Flint, please answer me when the latest segment on Flint, in which they still have poisoned water, when the latest segment was. Please tell me when the first segment was, because Al Jazeera reported on Flint, Michigan a year before Al Jazeera America reported on Flint, Michigan, a year before CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and ABC even touched it. A year. And it was over 6 months even before Al Jazeera reported on it. So activism and engagement is extremely important, but it cannot live in a vacuum. I believe that if it's in a vacuum, then it turns into a fight. And I don't mean like we have to fight for women's rights. I mean like, okay, we have to take to the streets. Oh, now there's blood in the streets. I mean Baltimore, I mean riots, I mean that kind of thing. So here at Project Sanity, what we want to build piece by piece is an organization that mixes activism. We want to bring you activist groups and showcase what they do. And we want to bring them together so that they can talk with each other as well and coordinate, because there are a lot of them. And most of them don't know that the rest of them exist. We want, at the same time, we want to bring you news. Because when you look at corporate media news, even the local reporting news, which have a freer hand, are not doing a good job. Even they are going for the sensationalism. Even they are going for the long-legged, sexy weather woman instead of actually telling you about climate change. Even they are ignoring local stories, like redlining, like fracking going on in poor neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Even these stories are hardly reported on, if ever. So what we want to do here is we want to build a media that reports the news through not an objective lens, but a nuanced one. I have my opinion, and I'll try to check it as much as possible, but I will not promote extremist causes. I will not denounce or denigrate an entire segment of the population. I will not overly generalize or demonize others, unless it's to make a sarcastic point, in which it will be abundantly clear. And neither will Richard. We will be as factual as possible. We will be as truthful as possible. We will strive to be as objective as possible. But they're not two equal sides to every story. When 90% of the scientific community states that climate change is real, there is division within the community on whether or not it's man-made, but they agree that climate change is happening. And most of them, the far great most of them, believe that change can be done to stave it off or at least safeguard against it. So when you, each time climate change is talked about, when you are shown, oh, this is one point and this is another point, they don't believe it, they believe it, that is not an accurate factual reporting. There are not two equal sides to every point. So we will bring you activism, we will engage with you, we will ask you to go do things. We will ask you to go help in your local communities if you can. We will ask you to take on what you're able to take on. we will ask you to send us stories. We will help you and train you, if we are able, to do reporting that is good, that is not just another person on YouTube shouting at the top of his or her lungs. This is what we want to do. This is what Project Sanity is about. It's about getting back to a place in which you have a fair arbiter of what is going on. And we want to build it in a way in which there is no, with the technology, the computer technology and internet technology we have today, it is possible to build a home for news to come, where it comes in a way that is personalized for you, but at the same time also giving you important headlines and giving it to you in a manageable way. And we want to build that place. We want to build a place for you to come for your news. This show, other shows, and also to come not just to be fed the news, but to be engaged in the news. So that instead of being a passive consumer of news who likes to be entertained, we all like to be entertained, but we are, all of us, starting to view news as stories, as movies. So we want to engage you in the news instead of delivering them as a narrative, as a story. We want to engage you in it so that you get angry about people in Flint dying, so that you want to do what you can to help. This is what Project Sanity is about. It's building a home for news and for activism. It's about building a voice for people who are not being heard. It's about putting a spotlight not on some places, but if we get enough people involved in this on an activist level, on all the places. It's about all sessions of Congress are recorded by C-SPAN, and they are readily and freely available for everyone to use. How many watch them? No one. It's about making it, those kind of things, available in a way in which you actually go and use it when there are people saying things that are relevant to an election, that are relevant to a thing that is happening. Oh, he supported opening this nuclear plant and deregulating nuclear oversight, and now it blew up. Okay, that's important. He's standing for election. I should know that. So that it's not up to the editorial board of CNN, which is owned by people who back political candidates and own other ventures that they want help from politicians to remove oversight or give permissions or land buys, or who just wants the people who do big ad buys to be treated better. That editorial board, I don't want to control what they're telling me about the politicians. I want no one to control what I know about my politician. This needs to be something that just happens. To round it off, the media has immense power. I know that we are taught that we are individuals and we should be able to make up our minds on our own. The problem is that that is not how moving pictures and sound work in the interaction with the brain. The problem is that moving pictures and sound in the interaction with the brain layers itself in your subconscious and to some extent in your conscious. So what you're shown, when you're shown the perp walk of Black people, of Latin people, when you're shown the perp walk constantly, and that's one of the main contexts in which you see Black people constantly, that is invariably, to an extent, how you are not going to actively think about them, but when you're sitting in a parking lot, when you get a knee-jerk reaction to seeing something that TV has told you to be afraid of, that knee-jerk reaction you can't control, because that has been indoctrinated into your brain. Now, you, if you're conscious of this, and if you are a person that is self-examining, can control what you do after the knee-jerk reaction. But the knee-jerk, which all of us who has tried one of those, we know that is strong. That is powerful. And that is something that is taught. That is something that is hardwired to us. So yes, freedom of the press, but it comes with responsibility.